This is a sad situation in America, and this is happening everywhere. As you can see, a lot of people are reaching their breaking point. They're tired of just constantly being lied to, working countless hours at the job, 12 plus hours, not getting ahead in life. An American dream is starting to become a nightmare each and every day. And who would have ever thought that we would reach this point? And things supposed to get better, but it's not. It's getting worse day by day. And that's the sad part because we was all taught that things would change. And as you can see, things is not changing no time soon. America is about to collapse. And that's a sad thing because what happened to America?
Shalom. First of all, I start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to teachers, elders, and apostles of Great Millstone. Likewise, word is splitting out this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep and dear brothers and sisters. Dunia and Shalom. Today's lesson's title, Coincidence or the Lord's Judgment. Okay, and the Lord is Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, who the word ignorantly called God and Jesus. Okay, now you saw the opening clip there with that Jake, and this is a series of video clips that I have in this lesson, okay, that I'm going to show you, okay, because a lot of our people are caught up in this mind state of coincidence. Okay, oh, it's just a coincidence, because this is basically how, we have learned to look at things, when we were in the world, okay, from Esau. Okay, Esau always have these, prognostic, he's like, well, this is happening right now, like how it happened 20 years ago, but it's going to change, and we predict this and that and all that stuff like that. So everything that seemed to happen to people, they seem to think that it's a coincidence. So maybe things will get a little bit better. But let's take a look at the word coincidence before we go into the scriptures and further clips. And the word coincidence in the AI overview is a coincidence is a surprising occurrence of two or more events or circumstances that happen at the same time or place, seemingly by mere chance and without any obvious causal connection. Now, this is why people will say sometimes deja vu, or they'll go, wow, what a coincidence. Okay, that this, happens to be this and that. Well, let's go into the scriptures and let's take a look at the fact that nothing is coincidental. Everything is, in fact, orchestrated by the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This is the book of 2nd Ezra 9, start verse 1, and it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And who is the highest? Yahweh, the Father. Okay, the Son is going to return, okay, to save the elect, okay, and at the same time he's going to destroy the rulership of Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, okay. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the day that were before thee, even from the beginning. So see, nothing is coincidence. It was already spoken, written, okay? And you're seeing that. Now, let's talk about this earthquake for a second here, because what you had is 3 earthquakes that occurred in different locations on this earth, okay? One you had in California, one you had in Venezuela, okay, which is making the biggest headline because of the amount of deaths, okay, that's been reported. And then you also had one in Japan, okay? So 3 earthquakes in a 24-hour period, all above 6.0, okay, which is huge, okay. Is that coincident? And no, right here, right here in the scripture it says, okay, therefore when there should be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people. Okay, now you talk about the people complaining about what their life and how they're living, and you're going to see these video clips, okay, very soon. Let me go into Amos 9 and 8 to answer this Jake's question, because you know, we can remember, at least I can speak for myself. I can remember in the world I used to think everything was coincident. Like, wow, how did that happen? And just like him, I was hopeful, that things would change and things would get better, and yes, it did. Okay, and every servant of Yahweh can speak about going through hell, and then we got more hell to come. That we have to go through because we're going to be tested of our faith, right? But let's go to Amos 9:8. It reads, "Behold, the eyes of the Lord power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, said the Lord." Yahweh Shema Shai. So the sinful kingdom is Great Babylon, America, United States of America, okay, America, okay, USA, okay, and the house of Jacob is the 1/3 elect, okay, those who repented, okay, going to be saved. So in that, leading up to that destruction, there's a lot of things that must occur, okay, and this is what you're starting to see right now, okay, when we go into the book of Matthew 24, verse 6, it reads, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." Have we been hearing about wars? Isn't there currently a war going on right now out there in the Strait of Hormuz? Okay, and you have these other civil wars and other, what they call genocidal, wars going on in Africa and other parts of the world. Okay, and you have a war going on here. Okay, you have a war for the souls of men going on here. You have this devil, Esau the Edomite, the so-called white man, okay, is using all this sorcery and witchcraft to keep you Hebrew Israelites in darkness, not to understand that nothing is coincidental. All of these are judgment from the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows." Notice the earthquakes came again, right? And I just spoke to you about the earthquake, in Japan, California, and in Venezuela, okay? Major earthquakes making headlines, all right? These are the works of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai, and famine is happening. Not because you're eating, mean there isn't a famine. Famine is going on across this earth and here in Great Babylon, America, okay? Because if you can't afford to buy food here and then there's no help, you're in a famine, all right? Okay, let's go to Proverbs 29:2, and then we're going to watch a series of clips back to back. It reads, "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn." If you don't believe people are mourning, take a look at these clips and you can see how people are wilding out, losing their mind. And it ain't just only so-called blacks and Latinos. It's everybody. Take a look at this.
I'm so tired of this mother, bro. It just seems like, bro, listen, bro. I've been hustling all day, every day, bro. Barely making a mother dollar doing this, bro. Buying every day. Spent $50 on my mother dollar yesterday, and I ain't had it because I want to squash the beef with my baby, man. And look, bro. Nail, bro, because it been raining. I don't know what the my whole time. At first it wasn't nothing but the nail. That's all I had to do is get the nail out. But trying to make it to the tire shop because I ain't got nobody to jack me up. Then I ate the whole tire up. 50 more $, bro. I ain't even been to sleep, bro. I woke up yesterday morning, bro. And I don't even know, bro. I just know it's been over 24 hours, bro. Right back. That money gone right again.
A large fight caught on camera is now under investigation in Calhoun County.
The sheriff's office sent us this video of that incident that happened over the weekend on the Congaree River, leaving multiple people injured.
WS reporter Lena Allen shares this update on the case.
Investigators counting upwards of 20 people involved in a fight Saturday afternoon.
Well, you know, the injuries were severe.
Sheriff Thomas Summers says at least 3 people were injured in the fight, suffering from swollen eyes to even head injuries.
To see that many people swinging and fighting, it could have been really, really bad. And I'm sure there are injuries to people that we haven't heard about. That's just the nature of that type beast.
Now to a story we all wish would be just a gross urban legend. But in McCurtain County, a former Arby's manager is charged with felony poisoning, accused of spitting in a woman's food and giving her herpes as a result. After a long night bartending, Jenica Church stopped at Arby's in Broken Bow.
It was taking a little bit of time. Thought they were probably mad at me because it was right about to close.
Jenica said she had some history with Amanda Hendricks, the manager, but nothing major. She went home, ate, and shared sandwiches with her father-in-law and grandmother-in-law. Jenica, her husband, the kids, and the grandparents all lived together. After that night, Jenica's mouth began to flare up like it never had before. The doctor diagnosed her with herpes.
Several times a week, I get a flare-up. It goes all the way up to the top of my eye twitches. I mean, it's very painful.
You're probably wondering, how could she possibly connect herpes to Arby's? Broken Bow is a small town. Jenica says Amanda Hendricks was bragging about spitting in her sandwiches that night. And Jenica's daughter heard the story. According to the affidavit, Broken Bow police say they pulled cameras and saw Amanda spitting in the food. She's charged with felony poisoning with intent to injure. A warrant has been issued for her arrest.
Sick of hearing how amazing this economy is doing when it's just not. I lost my job last year. I've been looking for a new job since then. Still have yet to find anything. My husband, guess what happened today? He got laid off. Great. Nothing says thriving economy like 2 working professionals with degrees that both just lost their jobs within the past year. We're not alone. There was 21.2 million layoffs last year. This is layoffs, not including people that were fired, not including people that quit, just layoffs. 21.2 million last year. That is a record high since the pandemic.
A job interview is the only scenario that I have to explain to you why I'm there. If I go out to a restaurant, the waiter doesn't ask me why am I here. They know that I'm there to eat the food that they're offering. If I go to a clothing store, the retail worker doesn't ask me why I'm there. They know that I'm there to buy the product that they're selling. If I walk into a coffee shop, the barista isn't asking me why I'm there. They know that I'm probably tired and need a pick-me-up. So why am I providing this bullshit information that you already know the answer to? I'm interviewing with you because you posted a job and I need one of those in order to support this stupid system that we've designed for ourselves. And this transaction is nothing more than that. I've never heard of your company. I don't care about your company. I've never dreamed of doing any of the tasks that are associated with this role. And my career goals are not to starve to death.
Slave away and you still don't have nothing. Think about that. You got a slave away. Grind, work from sun up to sundown, and you still don't have nothing. You still one step away from being up under that bridge, feeling that cold winter breeze. Oh yeah.
There is nothing else to cut. There's nothing left for me to cut. I have cut so much out of my life just to make it. When I say everything is high, gas prices high, I'm filling up my tank every 3 to 4 business days. 3 to 4 business days. Everything is high. Food high. Light bills high. Gas bill high. Gas prices high. Rent is high. The sky is high. I am tired. I made the most money I've ever made in my life. It may not be much to a lot of people, but to me, it's a lot. I could potentially make up, not to put my financial business out there, potentially take home $2,400, depending on how I work. My thing is, I never see the money. I never see it. Where is it? Where did it go? It disappeared.
how are y'all doing out there? Like, really, how are y'all doing? Because you notice there's people that are out here, and what they do is they wake up every single day, and then they're like, it's okay, smile, be positive, it'll get better. No. And then they tell us people that are depressed and we are acting appropriately according to what is going on, that we're sick. Let me explain something to you. Waking up every single day with a positive attitude whenever things are completely falling apart, I don't mean that you have a perspective that things are falling apart. I mean, things are literally on fire and you're like, that's delusional.
Low gas prices, low food, low anything anymore. I don't even think we're gonna see that no more. Shit is rough out here for real. Like, even if you got a good paying job or a career or whatever, shit still is rough because you got all these other bills and things you gotta take care of. Shit is high.
Americans. Hi, my name is Bridget. I'm 32 years old. I work full-time. And my paycheck does not give me enough to even get the bare minimums, okay? I had a savings account and I just had to use about half of it just to get by until my next paycheck, okay? And the reality of that is once my savings is gone, I don't have a crutch. I don't have any more crutches.
If we don't receive payment by this date, we're gonna send you to collections. Send it, bitch. They not gonna get it either. They really not gonna get it. I was already thinking about not paying you. Send it to collections. Charge it to the game, baby.
Hey, look. So, I was having a conversation with my maintenance man, right? And we was pretty much talking about, because I asked, I'm like, bro, why is there so many people moving out? And he's like, bro, everybody getting kicked out. I'm like, damn, why? He's like, bro, ain't nobody paying their rent. And it made me think, like, bro, this economy is getting wicked. It's wicked out here. Like, it's spooky. Like, prices is going up. Like, apartments, 1-bedroom apartments, shit, like $1,600-1,700. Especially, like, I'm in a nice area, so, like, apartment, like, $1,600-1,700. I'm like, so it could be tough on people, especially, like, if you working paycheck to paycheck, right, and you got kids and you're not making a decent amount of money, it can be really tough on people.
Do not genuinely understand how I would say, like, average pay for a lot of people, how you guys are making it in this economy. Because let's be real, the majority of people don't make over $25 an hour. I have no idea, especially people in my area in the Central Valley, how are you guys making it? Like, our PG&E is over $1,000.
Me a couple of days ago that I needed to have my rent in on time to avoid a late fee. If a 3-day notice was issued, it could not expire because I will remain on the eviction list. I've worked so hard to get off the streets. I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything at all that you see that I have now, and I don't have much. I was eating out of the trash cans, but I never made an excuse, and I got up every single day washing up in these public sinks to start my day and trying to find a place of employment and permanent housing. And I did that. I never put myself in that position, but I had to get myself out of working 80 to 100 hours. I don't even know how I was continuing on. I had so much fire in my soul to just keep going. Everyone had given up on me and didn't care about me and was trying to get my grandson taken. Just was so much. It was so much. So I've been working and just trying to get over this hump. The job loss really put a financial burden on me. My paycheck was $480 this week. Minus the payday loans, I had $172. $164.92 just went to my phone bill because it was just off. I have $14 left to my name until my next payday.
Now, you saw in those series of videos, and it was quite long, and I'm hoping not to make this lesson too long, but, to bring out the meat, okay, you have to see what's going on, and this mainly is for those of you who are new in the faith, okay. Obviously, those who watch our videos, they understand the way we teach, but you can see there, people are complaining. You can look in the mirror, and maybe you're going to be the one that's going to be complaining next, okay, holding your cell phone in front of you, crying, okay, wondering what went wrong. Is this a coincidence? Nothing is a coincidence. You see, 2/3 of our people are going to suffer hell, either by the sword, famine, okay, the pestilence, the disease, okay, or the lake of fire, and you have the beasts of the field, okay. But one way or the other, the Lord Yahweh Shemashah is going to destroy 2/3 of our people. And the rest of these tribes, I put a lesson out yesterday concerning them, they're nothing. They're nothing to the Lord Yahweh Shemashah, okay. And Esau, the Edomite, the so-called white man, although he seems to be the one that's giving people the hell, that's his job, okay, he's a hireling. He has a judgment on that's coming to him. And we're talking about the elites. We're not talking about the peasant Edomites, okay. There was a brother put out a video earlier today with some clip, and maybe I might follow up with a respond video on it, where this Eve, she was talking about the fact that these white people, these so-called white people who are racist, it's like, you're too poor to be racist. How can you be racist towards somebody who has more than you, and this is your doggone kingdom? And I was right, and I had to chuckle when I heard that, because it's true. It's true, okay? And we know where that's going to lead to, but let's go to Isaiah 19 and start verse 1, okay? So this also answers your question, Jake, from the opening clip. It reads, the burden of Egypt, which this place is known as spiritual Sodom in Egypt. Behold, the Lord, Yahweh Shemashah, rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. Now, you saw in part of that clip, what did you see? A whole bunch of these Edomites scrapping around. And it was like, they're in the sun. So all you saw was like all these red, pink bodies just like piling up on each other. And they just like, dude. Okay, I just thought it was hilarious. But that just goes to show us what's happening here. These people accuse us of being chimps and animals and whatever the case is, that they're misbehaving. But who really behaves the worst in public and in secret? The Edomites, the so-called white people. They're the rapists, the pedophiles, okay, the lies, the thieves, the murderers, all right? And you got to see it in the open right now, because Tawada, Yahweh Shemashah, the technology, they can't hide anything anymore, okay? Continuing, it says, and the spirit of Egypt shall fall in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and to the charmers and to them that are familiar spirits and to the wizards. There's a reason why you asked that question in the beginning, Jake, when you talk about coincidence or what's going on. Because again, you're still looking for that answer from who? Esau's charmers and wizard, where they start to look back and go, well, it happened, the stock market crashed during this time, and, we rebounded on, we had fuel problems at this time, and we rebounded, and we had economic strife at this time, and we rebounded. So we'll rebound, okay? Never forget, make America great again, But if you're in the spirit, you'll know this. And the Egyptians will I give over to the hand of a cruel lord, and a fierce king shall rule over them, said the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Shemashah. Who's that cruel king? Well, you see him every single day, man. Donald J. Trump. That guy is the best president ever for the United States of America. He's cool, collective. He's got a great personality. He's destructive. He don't give a crap. And he is the perfect, Edomite the Lord has set up to bring in the judgment on this place. And it's going beautiful, okay? And you could say, well, you look at our people are the ones that are complaining and crying and all that stuff. Well, they're part of the 2/3. They're not There's two parts of Israel here. You have the righteous, okay, or the 1/3, okay, that were given to Yahushua by the Most High. And then you have the 2/3 who are not his sheep, okay? So as long as the sheep are safe and happy, that's our concern. We're not concerned, okay, about the 2/3 out there. Let's go into the 2nd Ezra 15 and verse 12. It reads, Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that power shall bring upon it. They that till the ground should mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. What is people talking about? All they do is work, 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 but they have nothing to show for it. You know, they can't make ends meet. You have tens of thousands, as I'm making this lesson right now, about to get kicked outside, thrown out in the streets, credit all gone, okay, and not enough cash comes in. And now they're going to start a whole new type of life. And it's scary. That's why it says, they that till the ground, working their ass to death, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful consolation. Man, do you really want to be sleeping on the side of the road smelling like shit, with hoping somebody will show mercy on you? Nobody can show mercy on you nowadays, okay? Everybody's out for themselves, and this is going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, to the point, Lord willing, none of us are here to experience that particular part of it. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Why? Because it's going to be that bad. For those of you who say, I don't have a violent bone in my body, or you're going to have a violent bone in your body, see, it's going to be kill or be killed. Okay? You might have to run for your life because somebody's looking to eat you, actually, because there is no food and they need that protein. Okay, but I'm not going to go delve into that. That's for another lesson. I've done it a couple times. Okay, let's close with Isaiah 24 and 10. Start verse 10. It reads, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. This place is known as the city of confusion, where man can walk holding hands and kiss. I mean, literally, I'm watching a movie, me and my wife, and we got to both hold it like remote and go, okay, there's two men talking, two white dudes talking. Are they going to kiss? You know, like, we're at that stage right now. That's sickening. And we both old enough to have been around to where you didn't have to worry about that. But that's what you have to do now. They put that pride or that LGBTQ, whatever the hell it is, out there, like that's supposed to be normal. That's why this place is called spiritual Sodom in Egypt. It said this, crying for wine in the streets, all joy is darkened, and the murder of the land is gone. And the city is left desolation, the gate is smitten with destruction. And that's why you saw the collage of video. That is what you're seeing right there. Okay, is what happens when the mirth is replaced with fearful consolation and moaning. So to answer that Jake's question there, this is not just a coincidence. This is the Lord's judgment. Lord willing, the Father, that close by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Shalom.